Hey, creative kids and creative parents. So today, this is going to be our last STEAM project, and it is going to be very fun, hopefully. So I'm going to show you my extra mini invention. We're going to do mini rods, okay? And so we're just going to try to not let it fling off the table, but just want to show you. So there you go. So we're going to make mini rods that actually move. All right. So I'm going to let that be here for a minute. So I want us to think about it in this kind of way. We're going to do the actual car bed and the wheels, and then we'll have the bits that will give us the motivation and the ability to move. So we're going to break it up into 3 kinds of parts. All right. Here's what you're going to need. You are going to need 4 popsicle sticks. Mine are colored. You don't have to have colored. If you want to, you can. You're going to need a straw. You're going to need water bottle caps, and you're going to need 6 of those. And you're going to need a skewer stick or a stick about this size that can fit through your straw. That's what we're going for. And then you'll need 3 rubber bands, also some hot glue we have off to the side, and I'm using that because it's fast for us. You can use school glue, just know that you're going to have to wait till it dries. Actually, and then you're going to need a hole poker, so I'm going to use my compass, the end of my compass, and actually to even make the hole better, we're going to use a screwdriver. Those are bits probably for older kids or parents to lend a hand. And you're going to need 2 batteries, 2 dead batteries preferably, so you don't waste a battery, and these will be for weight. So in order to speed up this process, I already put some things together. So the reason why I told you needed 4 is because we're going to make a longer mini rod today instead of this. Now, if you'll notice, I only used 2 here. You can do that if you want to. I happen to think that this will probably go faster. My smaller one kind of doesn't go as fast as I would like, but I think this one will actually go faster. So here's what you do. You basically decide or determine how long you want the length of your hot rod to be. So glue those 2 together, and then what I did was I put the other on the top of it and then glued it together to make sure that they're about equal. All right, so you can see it's not perfection, just about the same. So that's our car base, and so the first thing we're going to do is put that together like that, and that's going to be the body of our car. So the next thing you can do, or that I did, okay, I don't have scissors, but I will show you on here. You cut your straw up into about 1/3, and that's going to be the axle for the front. And then you're going to cut off 2 little bits about this side. Thank you. And you do 2 of those for the back. So magic scissors. Okay, so cut it about here, and that'll go here, and then you'll have a bit here, and again, I already have my bits cut out, but just so you can get an idea of the bits themselves, that's about what it's going to look like. All right, and so then I'm going to go over, once you have your longer piece, you're going to go ahead and cut your skewer. I'm not going to try to do that on here because it's a little tough. Again, this is a job for adults. So you're going to break this down to where it's going to be go through the axle and hold your wheels in place. So you can cut about there on your skewer, you can see. And this will all make more sense to you when you're actually doing it. So don't let that stop you. It's not anything that's too terribly hard. So then you're going to poke holes in all of your first 2. I would turn them inside out, if you can see that. All right. And so, and put them together, and then go ahead and poke your hole. And then I also would then poke a little bit more, because you don't want it to be just so small. And then, if you can see the front, you just put one on either side. And I did hot glue them down, or maybe I didn't, but I'm going to right now. That way they stay on. So you do those kind of inside out, the first set of wheels. And the back wheels are a little different. We gotta do some souping up of wheels in the back in order that we can get a little more traction. So what you're gonna do in the back, also poke your holes same kind of way, and they're already poked the holes. But this time what you're gonna do is put two together like that. And we're gonna hot glue those puppies down together. Okay. So that you have bigger wheels in the back. And if it doesn't totally stick, once you get it to stick enough, then you can go back with the hot glue and go over it. And this way they'll stay down. And don't put a ton of glue on it, just you want enough that it stays, that it won't fall apart on you. So there, we're gonna let that dry up. And if you can see, I've already put one of the wheels on the other side, and I have these, I'll take that off. So I'll show you where that goes. But I went ahead and put one on. And I'll also show you, once you have the wheels glued, you can start to wrap the rubber band around them. Now, the video on Pinterest, this is where I got this idea from, did not explain to me why it was doing this, but my guess is more traction. The more traction you have, the faster it scratches off. And it did work. And also, the smoother the surface you go on, the better too. So there's that wheel. So then what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and glue the two pieces together here. I'm gonna have to scoot over a little bit. Yeah. So this part we're gonna do, and you don't want a very big triangle, because remember, you're gonna be putting this on it. So make it just apart enough that it can do that. So you're gonna lay these, the point in the front, side by side, let it be, and let that glue down. And yeah, right away it's not gonna wanna stay. But that's kind of what you want. Then I'm going to take, did I already do my bits? This is the one. So you're gonna do a bit of it, of your, oops, a popsicle stick. Well, that just flew away. So we'll have the magic happen and get it back. Thank you. And so you're gonna need two little bits like this, and I'll show you. They're so small. Just kind of cut off each of the heads of the popsicle sticks. One a little bit longer, just slightly. And we're gonna glue that down in the front, but we're gonna glue it on its side. That's what holds the rubber band in place. And there you go. And you stick it out. If you'll see on this one, it sticks out a little bit ahead of the wheels. Yeah. And so it's kind of just in the middle. So we're going to let that dry. Then we're going to go ahead and glue this down. Because what you want to do, let's make sure. Okay, so that's still a little not together, so I'm going to do a little more gluing to get it together. And this is not a very hard thing to make. You just have to be patient. Oops, like see. You have to be patient enough to let it dry. Slip this under here so that it becomes one. That's the goal, is to get one piece together, because that's what you want it to look like. And once it is, see, that middle is still a little bit, so we're gonna go ahead and take our little straw bits for the back, and you can put them right on the very back edge. And I'm just gonna move this around with my paper until it gets itself glued together satisfactorily. And put a dot there, and put a dot there. And then just make sure it's straight. And if it's not, these will rip right off. But try to make them straight so that your axle will go through. Let's see here. Make sure. Yeah. So there you go. And see, it's not dry, but there you go. There you go. But that's what you're going for. I'm not going to do that just yet, but just to show you. All right, let's see if, yep, our front is good. Okay, so now what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is put my, where's my little green? It's right here. So I put my little axle already through my little straw. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to lift this up and then put glue on either side. And try to get the straw in the center, if you can see that. And the wheels can go a little bit. There we go. And you can move it right up to the edge of that little piece right there too. And you want to make sure not to glue the wheels to the straw. Clearly that would impede the driving or the movement. All right, so we got that much going. So let's see. Okay, so that is dry now too. So the other thing we're going to do, so obviously you can do one wheel at a time. I am going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on the outside just to make sure. Because the first time I did this, I did it on the inside, and guess what? I glued it to these little pieces, my little straw pieces, and that is no good. Okay, so here goes. Almost there. So that's one side. So now our little should be done gluing. So then we're going to stick this in, and if it doesn't go, I'm going to get our little screwdriver and go a little more. And there we go. There you go. And there you go. And also center it. Think about that when you're doing it. Here's why you want to center it. Because then you're going to put on this last little bit. And the little bit should just be enough that you're going to stick it up at the back, so that when you turn it, whatever surface you're doing this on. So I'm going to put a little dot of glue right on there in the center-ish. And just, again, try to get your wheels centered. And then move it over if you need to. And let that dry. So basically, there's our mini rod right there. All the parts have to be settled and glued together. So then once you have that, then you're going to take your batteries and you're going to glue them at the back. This one doesn't so much lift up from the table, but this little mini, this extra mini, it kind of lifts up, and so it needed a little extra weight at the back to help it stay on the surface, so that when you shoot it off, it actually takes off. So at the back here, we're gonna go ahead and put a little glue on both sides, and you're just gonna back that thing right up. Yep. And there you go. Now, there probably is going to be a difference in, see, there it goes. And look, our little piece does not impede the movement. It's just, it clears the back axle of the wheels. So the last thing we have to do, let's make sure this is still a little sturdy. I'm a little afraid to shoot that one off just yet, because all the pieces are not exactly glued. I broke my car twice when I was doing this because I was a little impatient. So don't do that. Don't be me. Let it dry and just go ahead and see, that's not even dry. So I'm gonna wait, but you get the idea. Make sure you have on the traction. I'm just gonna wait for that, and so I'm gonna shoot this off. The idea is that the bits are centered, and I will tell you, when you first start out, do wait for the glue to dry, because I broke off several pieces of the car, a bunch. But you can see how this is in the middle, and so it just kind of winds itself, and that's what helps. There you go. So hope you have fun making your mini rods, and I hope you guys have a good fall season going on. See you guys at the library.